everyone, today I'm going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. This is a tag that you can do halfway through the year to basically reflect on your reading for the first 6 months of the year. And I cannot believe we're already halfway through 2018 because this year is going by so fast. And I know everyone always says that, but like it really feels like it goes by so fast. But anyway, let's just get started with this video and then I'm going to do the mid-year book freakout tag for 2018. Also, I will leave a link down below in the description box to the original video. So question number 1, best book you've read so far in 2018. For me that was actually a hard one to pick because I've had an amazing reading year so far. I've read some incredible books that became some of my all-time favorites. But since I only can pick one, I'll have to choose The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is a historical fiction book that takes place during World War II in France. And it's about 2 sisters who both lead very different lives during the war. This book gets a lot of positive reviews and I completely agree with those because this book just blew me away. I loved it so incredibly much. Basically, this book is everything that I want from a historical fiction book. The story was amazing and beautiful. I loved all the characters very much. And it's very hard actually to find a really good historical fiction, especially because I'm always so critical of historical fiction. But The Nightingale delivered so much. I loved it so much. I'm definitely going to reread this many times in the future. Yeah, The Nightingale, it's incredibly good. It is one of my all-time favorite books at the moment. Question number 2, best sequel you've read so far in 2018. So it turns out that this year I have started a lot of series, but I actually haven't read that many sequels yet. But I did manage to pick one book, and this is actually not a sequel, it's a 3rd book in a series, but like that's basically the same thing. And that is Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. This is the 3rd book in the Cormoran Strike series, a detective series that follows Cormoran Strike and basically his murder cases. I love this book series very much. They are amazing thrillers and I really love a good thriller. And of course it's written by J.K. Rowling and she's my all-time favorite author and she really knows how to write a good thriller. She's very descriptive, so these books are very descriptive as well, but I really love that and I really love that you can like solve the mystery with the characters. But I also love that like the ongoing story of Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin like basically goes through the books. Yeah, I just love Career of Evil so much and I cannot wait for the 4th book in the series, which is supposed to come out later this year. I believe J.K. Rowling said something like that on Twitter. So I guess you could say this is definitely the best sequel or 3rd book in a series that I've read so far this year. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. I mean, there are so many because I've been getting a lot of new releases this year that I like still haven't read yet. But one that is definitely very high up my TBR at the moment is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. This book came out in February or March, I believe, and it's about 3 sisters who had been executed as witches, but they come back every year or something like that. It sounds a bit spooky and that's why I'm actually saving it for like during October, during like Halloween time. But again, it's a book that has so many amazing positive reviews and that makes me so excited for it. So this book is going to be read this year and as I said, probably during like a bit of the Halloween time. So yeah, I am very excited for The Wicked Deep and now that I'm talking about it, I actually want to read it sooner because like the story just sounds so amazing. So yeah, definitely a new release that I'm still going to read this year. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the 2nd half of the year. I mean, do you even need to ask? That is of course Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, the 3rd and final book in the Dark Artifices series. I love that series so much and I loved Lord of Shadows so incredibly much. It was like my favorite book of last year. So I cannot wait to find out what's going to happen next and how this series is going to end. Queen of Air and Darkness comes out on December 4th. So it's still a couple of months to wait, but like I'm so excited and I will buy it straight away. I will read it straight away. It's going to be amazing and I cannot wait for it. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. As I said, I've had an amazing reading year so far and I really haven't read that many books that I didn't like, but one book that definitely very much disappointed me was Taj Hearts Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. This is a book about a main character named Tasha who has a YouTube channel and that YouTube channel like gets very famous overnight. So I was very excited for it because I thought it would be a fun contemporary about YouTube. And of course I do YouTube myself, so I was so curious to see how that was going to be portrayed in this book. But unfortunately, I definitely did not like this book because the whole YouTube storyline was only one little storyline of many others. This book really did not know what it wanted to focus on, and as a result there are like 10 different minor plot lines that never really seemed to like work out. Also really didn't like Tasha as a main character. I really think she wasn't that likable or nice to her friends. Yeah, I very much disliked this book. I think this is probably my least favorite book of the year so far. And I was very much disappointed because I really wanted to love it. Question number 6, biggest surprise. And for this I have to say the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series by Rick Riordan. I love this book series so much more than I thought I would have. And maybe that's also because I had set my expectations really low. I mean, I thought it would be a fun series, but I didn't think I would like absolutely love it. But now I've read the first 4 books and I actually, as I said, loved it way more than I thought I would. I just love the concept of Greek mythology in our modern world so much, and I just love how clever these books are. They find so many fun ways to incorporate Greek mythology in the modern world, and it's actually also really informative. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the Percy Jackson series, and I will probably finish it very soon because I only have 1 book left, and I can definitely recommend them because they are really fun, as I said. Question number 7, favorite new author, and that can be a debut author or an author that is new to you. So I think the debut author of 2018 is also my favorite debut author, and that is of course Tomi Adeyemi, the author of Children of Blood and Bone. I mean, this book has basically taken over the world. I think this is the most popular new release of this year. Literally everyone is talking about it, everyone loves it. I haven't seen a negative review of it so far, and I read it as well, and I really loved Children of Blood and Bone as well. It is also one of my new all-time favorites. It is one of the best first books in a series I've ever read, and it's also one of the best debut novels I've ever read. And I actually met Tomi Adeyemi at YALFest NL, and she signed my book and everything, and she was incredibly sweet, and I just love her writing. I love her book. I cannot wait for the second book in this series, and yeah, she's definitely one of my new all-time favorite authors. Question number 9, newest fictional crush. So I normally don't really crush that much on bookish characters. I have that more with like films and TV shows. But a character that I did really love was Sam from the Diviner series. I've forgotten his last name. Was it Sam Lloyd? I think it was. But anyway, Sam from the Diviner series is so cute and he is so funny. Like, I loved his humor and I loved his conversations with Evie, one of the main characters. He's just such a fun guy, but he's also very much developed. There's definitely more to him, and I just love reading about him. And yeah, I think he would be my like newest fictional crush. Question number 9, newest favorite character. And for this I have to go back to the Percy Jackson series because this series has so many amazing characters. I think my favorite would be Annabeth Chase because like I just love her. She is strong, she is very smart, she's very resourceful. I love seeing her in action, and I love her friendship with Percy. She really knows what she's doing, and she's brave, and she's definitely a very good role model, I think. I also really love Tyson from this book series because he's just so cute and so sweet. And Percy is amazing as well. I think he's a very good main character, and he's very funny also. So yeah, lots of amazing characters in this series. Another reason why I love it so much. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. I've said this before in videos, I think, but I rarely cry at books. It's just, I'm a robot like that. I do have emotions, I do find things sad, but I rarely actually cry. So this year there has only been 1 book that has made me cry, and that is again The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And this is basically one of the reasons why I love this book so much, because as I said, I never cry at books, but this one like made me sobbing. So if a book can actually manage to do that, then it must be really one of my favorites. So yeah, the emotions in this book were very much there, and yeah, I cried. And I don't think I will have another book this year that will make me cry. Yeah, The Nightingale, another reason why it's one of my favorites. It's just so good. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. For this I'm going to have to go with a book that was a reread. But it is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This book didn't make me happy because of its story, because the story isn't that happy. The story is actually quite sad and dramatic. But this book made me happy because it was a reread of a book that I love very, very much. I read An Ember in the Ashes for the first time more than 2 years ago, and I reread it last month in preparation of the newest addition to this book series. And this time I listened to it on audiobook, and it made me really happy because I had actually forgotten quite a lot of this book. But now I really remembered why I love this book so much and why I love this book series so much. And also listening to this audiobook helped me to get out of a little bit of a reading slump. So it's not a very happy book on its own, but it did make me happy for those reasons. Question number 12. Favorite book to film adaptation you've seen this year? I was thinking about this. I don't think I've actually really seen any film adaptations this year so far. I'm actually quite sure of it because when I go to see a movie, it's usually a superhero movie. I think those are the only films I've actually seen this year. And yes, some old movies that I like rewatched, but I don't think any of those were book to movie adaptations. Okay, there's only one I've seen this year, and that is the film of Murder on the Orient Express. So I guess that one has to be the best by default. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was that amazing. I did love like sort of the colors and the filming, but I thought the story was a little bit weird in the film. So yeah, I guess that one has to be the best adaptation that I've seen because it's the only adaptation that I've seen so far this year. Question number 13. Favorite video you've made so far this year? A video that I made this year that I really liked was my Shadowhunter book collection video. And I think that's just because I really love to make these like collection videos. I'm very passionate about the things or the book series that I love and that I collect. So I love to just like show all the beautiful book covers and make a whole video about that. I also love to do my Q&A video for reaching 3,000 subscribers, because that way I could get a little bit more personal, and it was really fun that so many people had actually questions for me because I hadn't really expected that. And I also loved making more reading vlogs this week because I have been doing more, and yeah, I've been just really enjoying that as well. Question number 14. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year? This is another difficult question because like books have been really killing it with their covers this year. There are so many amazing book covers and I have so many pretty ones that it's actually hard to choose. But the one that definitely has to win this question is Kirke by Madeline Miller. I pronounce it Kirke, some people pronounce it Cersei, but whatever. Well, just look at this book cover. It is absolutely stunning. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It is shiny and beautiful, and it has all these gorgeous illustrations on it. And that's the dust jacket, but it's also gorgeous on its naked cover. And then it also has this gorgeous map inside, and I'm such a sucker for books with maps in them because I love them so much. So yeah, out of all of the pretty book covers I own, this one is definitely the prettiest. And then the final question, question number 15. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So many, too many to name right now. I actually made a video about books that I want to read this summer, if you want to like see some of the books that are on my TBR at the moment. But I think the book that is highest on my TBR, the one that I'm definitely going to read before the year is over, is Sight by Neil Shusterman. I've been so hyped up for this book. I have been saving it for during my summer vacation so that I have like all the time to read it and all the concentration for it. It sounds like an amazing book. I've heard so many great stories about it. I have to read this very soon. So yeah, this was it for the mid-year book freakout tag of 2018. I had forgotten that this tag had so many questions, but it's really fun to do because it really makes you reflect on like your reading year so far. And yeah, the first half of 2018 has been amazing in reading for me, and I really hope the second half of 2018 will be amazing as well. But this was it now for this video, and if you like this video, please go subscribe or give it a thumbs up because I would really appreciate that. And then hopefully I will see you again very soon in my next video. Bye!